Hello, my name is Kathleen Smith, and this is EDL 854, Educational Finance. And today I am doing Module 16 on the case study. And this case study was about a principal called Mr. Stevens, who worked for a middle school with about approximately 450 students who didn't have a budget to have an assistant principal to work a lot of the games and athletics and events. And so he used parent organizations and parent volunteers to help with concessions and things like that and ticket sales. Well, one of those parents who often volunteers to manage the concession stand was Mrs. Alice Bowman. This was their third child that went to the school, and her daughter had been recognized for being an all-state cheerleader, received a plaque, and the ability to go to New York City for a holiday parade. But that parade was going to be pretty expensive. So Miss Bowman had asked for a meeting with the principal to discuss whether or not the PTA funds could be used for the $798 that would be needed. At that meeting, Mr. Stevens listened to Miss Bowman, but then tactfully said that even though she contributes in a huge way, he could not use those funds for just one student. And so after that meeting, Mrs. Bowman continued to be a parent volunteer, and she at one event finished up the night and then told him that 10 tickets were not used because they were torn, and that the funds added up when you subtract the 10 tickets. But if the tickets were used, the money did not add up. In fact, at that event, a parent he had noticed was putting money into their wallet, and that parent had said that he had used a 50 and there was no 50 in the bank pad. So the problem is not knowing if the 10 torn tickets were actually used or sold at that event. So category number 1, problem identification and analysis. Well, what do we know? We know Mrs. Bowman was a parent volunteer who collected money after asking for the PTA to donate $798 for her daughter to go to New York. And she said that 10 tickets were not sold. That money was not with the other funds at that end of the night. And then what do you need to know? Was there another parent volunteer who could verify that the tickets were not sold? Was the $50 given earlier used as change for maybe a higher bill, like a $100 bill in the night, and that's why the 50 was not there? And was money actually stolen that night? And by chance, I know that this was a more rural school, but is there any security footage possible? And then identify the problem. Well, the problem is that unlike the concessions that were balanced with the inventory, the ticket sales were not. There were 10 tickets which were torn, which were not sold, or were those tickets sold? Category 2, proposed plan of action with appropriate strategies for implementation. This I divided up into 3 different steps. Step 1 is review all the procedures. In that, we would check with all parent volunteers to account for all money exchanges, look at video footage if possible, speak with Mrs. Bowman about the transactions that took place that day at the game, and then look at the accounting worksheet and compare to money totals and ticket receipts again. Then step 2 would be to evaluate all that data. So to look at the interviews with all the parent volunteers, Mrs. Bowman, maybe the security guard, look at tickets that were really torn and unusable, and is there a larger bill than a 50 in that deposit bag, which could explain why the 50 is now missing. And then step 3, make a conclusion based upon all of those facts. Use the review of the procedures and data to make a conclusion on the possible missing money. So in category 3, resolve the issues based on promoting the success of all students. One thing really stood out to me, and that was one of the closing statements of our case study. It said Mrs. Bowman had written a note stating that tickets 78 through 88 had to be discarded because they were torn. the ticket proceeds balanced with the number of tickets sold minus the 10 reported torn. So that did balance, and that is what Ms. Bowman said. But the total didn't reflect the amount that should have included the 10 tickets. But Ms. Bowman had already said that she did not collect those 10 tickets. So Mrs. Bowman claims that those tickets were torn. Mr. Stevens couldn't find a $50 bill, the cost of the 10 tickets among the currency in the bag. So, what is best for all students? I believe Mrs. Bowman said that the 10 tickets were torn and discarded. The numbers matched up from that amount. After interviews and with no video footage, we did not find anything differently than what she said. There was also the possibility that there was a $100 bill in the bank bag, which explained why the 50 was given for change. It was a Friday payday night, and that's what one of the parents was saying. And so if just one parent was coming with 50s, there were probably many parents who were coming with hundreds or larger bills. What is best for all students is to continue to let Mrs. Bowman do her job as a parent volunteer. This is her third child within that school, and there has been no evidence that she has ever done anything wrong. There is no evidence that proves that $50 is also missing. So I would assign roles and explain the roles to parent volunteers in a more thorough manner going forward, and I would monitor the money throughout the night, not just at the end of the game. Category 4. Debrief the problem by reflecting on what you were thinking, feeling, and valuing, and by identifying issues that are unresolved or open to further investigation. I believe that this is a difficult case, and I do not want to jump to conclusions. The first conclusion after reading this is that she's guilty because her daughter needs to go to a competition and she asked for the money. But is this really a reason for her to steal $50 and to go to the trouble of tearing up those receipts after so many years of working with the school district? 3 issues that are unresolved are: 1, the $50 bill could have been given to someone else for change. 2, why the tickets were torn. 3, no one was monitoring throughout the night. Her receipts and money matched at the end of the night minus the 10 tickets because that is the amount she said she actually sold. So I would keep my eyes open going further by assigning more checks and balances throughout the night and collecting the money throughout the night instead of just at the end. I would also hold a meeting with parents to talk about the importance of allocating for each ticket and monies received. I would let them know that they should report any variances or any problems with tickets immediately and not just at the end of the night. Category 5. Reflect on Standard 8 by providing evidence that you as the leader promote the academic success and personal well-being of every student by ensuring effective and efficient management of the school or district to promote student social and academic learning. And we will do that by maintaining a productive learning environment and establishing processes to effectively facilitate change. So I promoted the academic success of every student by taking the possible missing money possibility seriously, and then interviewing the parent volunteers, looking at the books and the tickets, and evaluating the situation before accusing the parent of theft. Category 5, reflect on Standard 8 by providing evidence that you as a leader promote the academic success and personal well-being of every student by ensuring effective and efficient management of the school or district to promote student social and academic learning. Well, I promoted the academic success of every student by putting the needs of the student first. I listened to Mrs. Bowman, but told her that we could not use PTA funds to fund the New York trip. We need to use the funds to help all students. I also did not just assume that all monies were accounted for. I held meetings with parents, looked at all the books, and then made judgments. Then I made change to the way I handled the funds and now have checks throughout the night and more parent volunteers for accountability purposes. Category 5, reflect on Standard 8 by providing evidence that you as the leader promote the academic success and personal well-being of every student by ensuring effective and efficient management of the school or district to promote student social and academic learning. I promoted the personal well-being of every student by enhancing guidelines for financial accountability. Every student should have the right to benefit from all funds collected. This will promote the personal well-being of every student. Thank you very much. And this was my case study for Module 16.